sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. When we come down to we'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. Baby, that's all I got. Is this the kind of sound that you wanna hear? Is this the kind of vibe that you wanna feel? 'Cause I'm the type of guy that you'll never fear. You could do your thing, then come near. Maybe I'm caught up in the thing that you know I like. See, we can make time, baby, overnight. Or we could make a grand escape, and we can roll high on our break. I'm all about the look that you're giving me. I'm all about the dance moves you're letting free. Well, I'm all about a sweet sound and love is free. So listen from my melody. Yeah, maybe I'm caught up in the thing that you know I like. So we can make time, baby, overnight. Or we could make a grand escape, and we can roll high by the way, yeah. And when we come down to we'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. When we come down to we'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. Baby, that's all I got. Yeah, this is the kind of sound that I wanna hear. Yeah, this is the kind of vibe that I wanna feel. And you're the type of girl, baby, on the real. Check it one time, what's the deal? Maybe I'm caught up in the thing that you know I like. Yeah, we can make time, baby, overnight. Or we could make a grand escape, and we can roll high by the way, yeah. And when we come down to we'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. When we come down to we'll be dreaming safe and sound. You better know why. Baby, that's all I got. Baby, that's all I got. Baby, that's all I got. We're feeling alright, yeah. We're feeling good, we're feeling alright, yeah. Oh, it's about that time for us to look around and meet somebody new. Well, let's all welcome in familiar faces, perhaps somebody who has a conflict in their life. Alright, tell them you're sorry, but there's ways to change the wrong to right. See, we can sit in a distant haze and watch rain clouds pour thoughts of greatness to help our troubles sail real far away. Oh yeah. Well, it's a struggle every day. We're stressing.
You ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
You put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind, getting
king, I'm the champ, I'm the Judy of the lamb.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
See, I need me put in my pocket. It don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money.
All out here for a pill. Ready tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
Are you ready? You think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break it down!
Yeah, what up? What up?
You know, I'm a very routine-ish type of guy, but I don't like, it's not really like a super duper set routine, but it's like a very adjustable routine, I guess you could say. And like ever since we've been doing the morning show, get up, brush my teeth, take the Browns to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, then jump on the show. Oh, roll up, then do the show. It's a pretty good schedule.
Yeah, for sure.
Feel phenomenal right when I get on the show, for the record.
And see, I mean, you could wait even till rolling up, man. I mean, now especially you got everyone timing you to see what your best time is, you know?
Yeah.
It is funny how that became a thing, because it's not just one person either. Now there's like multiple people who are like, oh, that took Bogey 2 minutes and 45 seconds or like whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and then I'll wager it all at the end, won't I?
Man, that just makes it more exciting. That's all it does.
I legit had a dream I was on Jeopardy, man.
Oh, man, it's fucking awesome.
That shit was hilarious.
And you know what's going to be awesome? I haven't announced this, but, you know, just trying to think of more and more of fucking, you know, just games for the Weed Olympics, right? Here's going to be the fun one to watch. Blindfolded joint rolling contest.
Bruh. You know how many times I done rolled a joint in the dark, bro? And sometimes I'll be in here and the sun's going down and we're doing like an evening show. And I roll, and I got my glasses on, and I'm like, oh, so that's right. I got my glasses on. It's so dark in here.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that would be funny. But see, here's the thing, right?
With all this grind it up and all that shit, like it was.
Hold on. No, hold on. Don't tell them this part, though. All right, we won't tell them this part. That when we get them ready and they ready to go, you know what I'm saying? They hyped up. And then when they put the blindfold on, you spin them around 3 times, 7 times, maybe 12 times.
That would be funny as fuck.
Yeah.
That would be funny as fuck. It's going to be classic stuff, man. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of good fucking, a lot of good content.
Oh, there you go.
There
you go. We could have 2 forms of the Weed Olympics going. We could have the single games and the team games.
Oh, the doubles.
Right.
What up, Minnesota Marty? Man, thanks again for putting the Jeopardy together. He said he's going to do it again. And so,
yeah, Marty.
Hey, it's
not
the
daily double so difficult for Bogey.
That's so funny. It's not Marty's fault. If there's anyone to blame, it's me. I felt like I egged you on.
Blaming everyone.
I didn't think you were gonna do it.
You know me too. I'm such a conservative pussy to get the W. I was like, give me 2,000. You're like, man, come on, man.
That show's fun.
You know, it's not your fault because it never takes too much convincing.
Yeah, I didn't have to.
You're already on the edge. Just jump already, bro.
I said one thing, and I didn't think you were gonna do it. And you're like, you know what? You know what? And I was like, oh, what?
You know what? You know who I am and what I stand for, man.
All in, baby, all in.
Hey, the one thing when I got off, I was hella mad. Then I started laughing as fuck. Because my girl's like, last Jeopardy go. I'm like, She's like, and I told her what happened, and she was like, I bet you everybody laughed hella hard when you got it wrong. I was like, for real, huh? Because I'm just murdering the whole way. I was just giving them points at one point. Take another guess, bro.
Yeah, who was it? It was like Real Deal Prime. He's like, man, Bogey's the fantasy trivia god. But that was about midway through the show because it shows like like when it's like time stamped, on the comment. That was about halfway through.
Oh man, that shit was funny, bro.
Oh man,
that shit almost had me crying last night. I was it is funny when like I'm getting midway through and I'm microdosing pretty good, and like I had a beer left. And I hadn't been drinking any beer all day. And what's funny about when I'm like a scientist, you know what I mean? Like when I throw that beer in the tank, it thins your blood out. So it really kicks those shrooms in, you know what I mean? Like whether it's a microdose or not. And so I'm really feeling it. I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Throwing my hands in the air like I already won this thing. Cooling myself off and shit.
Oh man!
Hey, listen. If we do Jeopardy live at
we have to. That's what me and Derek were talking about. He was like, "We have to do a Jeopardy."
Do we have a fire extinguisher? Because when I'm killing it live, I'm gonna need don't even unbeknownst to me, someone's got to come up and just spray me down with the fire extinguisher.
Oh,
when I win that thing, I need a fire hose, like the real legit one. Just blast
we got to put the Bogey fire out. He's way too on fire right now.
There it is.
Hell yeah!
Then that could be a run-on joke. It could be anything all day, all weekend. I'm just killing it in the draft. And someone just come up. I'm like, oh, I'm taking a dump, bro. What are you doing? Oh, you're really killing it in there, bro. Every time I'm on the grill, just barbecuing, just come up to me.
Marco, you're a savage. He said, just like a German train, never on time. I had to clean the bong, man. You saw how that hit me the first bowl. I had to get a clean bong up in this biatch.
If this was like, like the 70s or 60s, man, and you called me a German, bro, I don't know if that would fly, man. I think if this is the 60s and I was Filipino and American, that probably wouldn't fly either. What is this guy? Is he an Asian or a Mexican?
What
I'm so confused.
No, I would assume they would just think you're Mexican, right? Like in what's it called in is that Super Troopers? Where he's like, hey, you gonna order the quesadilla or whatever, and they're like, everyone's like so confused, and he has to explain it. They think I'm Mexican.
Oh, that's funny.
And what up, Steve? Steve said Josh Allen being on the Madden cover is whack. I didn't see what the cover looked like. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday or 2 days ago that he was the rumored athlete, and I don't think they don't really rumor, too much without it being the actual person. So,
well, what they need is don't they do are they going back to doing the single player covers, or are they doing like the dual covers again? Well,
they kind of just go back and forth. The last time we saw the duel was Brady and Mahomes, right?
Just put up a picture of a majestic stallion.
Can they worry about the gameplay? Is that something they can worry about versus the stupid ass covers? Man, the gameplay is just so whack that it makes me not even want to play.
They really change it like that? I haven't touched Madden in over 10 years, bro.
I mean, the last time that Madden
I've seen it played in front of me, gang of times. You know what I mean? Like all the new shit. You know what I mean? I still got homies that be getting down and shit.
the last time that Madden was super, super sick was when it was on the PlayStation 2. I still feel like when it came to the new systems, graphics on point like a motherfucker. Gameplay, not so much.
It's funny because, like, you know what I'm saying, when they first started coming out with the motion games, that's what people thought. They're like, oh yeah, bro, one day you're gonna be able to like take the snap, bro, like and then pretend to drop back. And I'm like, nah, bro, it's not gonna happen.
There you go. And Derek said the champ is here.
No one asked.
What up,
No one
Zach?
asked here if he was here or not. Okay.
Hey, stranger, shout out to the Houday Nation. Speaking of the Houday Nation, check this out.
What's up, guys? I'd like to shout out Alex, Fantasy Football Hustler, and the 420 crew. I'd also like to let you guys know that defensive players matter too. So get into the IDP league with the Hustler so you can drive players like myself. Let them know, man. Defensive players matter, man. And we make plays just as much as the offense.
There we go.
Man, it sucks because it said whenever you click that thing, it took me into the Matrix. It was weird. Well, like I could see everything, but it was a mute.
Yeah, that one was cool. And then, yeah, who's the other one that we got? And you guys remember this one with Calvin Johnson?
Shout out to the 420 crew.
Man, that shit was fire.
Right? Shout out to Jordan Battle, though.
And Stranger said nothing against Allen, but the cover should have been Madden to tribute this year. Yeah. When did Madden pass away? Was it was just this past year, right?
Wasn't it this year?
2022.
Oh, 2022.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Right?
Yeah, come on. Madden, come on.
So it was right at the end of 21. So last year would have been the year if they were going to tribute him. Which they may have. I just don't really remember. You know what's not a tribute?
You need to put a turducken on there.
You know what's not a tribute to him? Making fucking Will Ferrell play John Madden in a movie. That's not a tribute to him.
Nah, man.
John Madden starts kissing his players after they win the Super Bowl. I'm going to walk out of the movie. I don't even know if I'll see it in the movie theaters because of that. But if I did, I would walk out of the movie theater.
Boom. Listen, bro. If you show me a picture of Will Ferrell eating a turducken right now, for those that don't know, that's the signature John Madden Thanksgiving joint. It's the chicken stuffed, or the duck stuffed chicken stuffed turkey. There you go, the turducken, right? You show me a picture right now, Will Ferrell eating a turducken, bro. I won't know who it is, bro. I'll be like, hey, that's John Madden right there.
Nah.
I swear, bro. Hey, listen, ever since that announcement.
When was John Madden ever that skinny?
Listen, bro, I saw the announcement. I mean, I read the announcement, right, that Will Ferrell was going to play John Madden. Later on that day, my kids, they were watching Elf, bro, and I was like, oh, what y'all watching, the John Madden documentary?
Man, get the fuck out of here.
I'm just saying, bro, I can't tell the difference.
If you hate on movies like Notorious for Biggie not looking like Biggie, you're saying Will Ferrell looks like John Madden. Come on, I'm calling bullshit on the inconsistency.
No, man, I didn't say he didn't look like Biggie. I said he didn't sound like him, didn't rap like him, didn't walk like him, talk like him, like it.
Oh, it was Tupac that you said didn't look like him, right? Is that what it was?
No, man,
it was one of them. It was one of them where you said this motherfucker does not look like
Tupac wouldn't bother me. You know who they should have got to play Tupac? And they did. They're about 20 years too late. They should have got it 20 years ago and had the dude from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Remember? He's like, look, that's my dick. Remember that? That guy could have played Pac.
Who's that? Conrad? Right.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
The bald dude, right?
Putting the pussy on a pedestal.
Yeah.
West Side. I feel like that could have been Pac.
Yeah. That shit's funny. Oh, you think this happened by accident?
Tell you that's Pac, bro.
And Stranger said, I'll probably never see a movie in the movie theater again. Got a 4K and I could puff on the couch. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And especially with how quick like movies come out. Like it's funny, Scream 6. I totally didn't even know that Scream 6 was coming out in the movie theaters. And then by the time I seen it, I could already watch it like on the Fire Stick because it was on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Derek said not even.
Whatever, champ. like you're the champ.
But yeah, that character is dope. He's one of the reasons why I like Weeds so much, because he's one of the main characters in Weeds.
Who's this? Will Ferrell?
No.
I knew you were talking about
the dude who you're talking about from the 40-year-old virgin. Yeah.
He could have been a pop dog, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, because he's the white girl's connection, to the weed.
And she was probably giving him that pink pussy, bro.
Not until later. It took him years to do it. There was
it took him that long to show off for the pussy, bro. Like, listen, I can play it. And what's funny is whenever I didn't have, like, when we were young, say like the homegirl hit me up, and like I had like folks that would hit me up, and I had a studio, and that was my everyday my job for real for the longest, and like that was like a jump off spot allegedly, right? So it's like people would just come through and cop and burn, you know what I mean? And like, so I had this homegirl that would always come through and burn. And, they would cop out matching and shit and whatnot. And then, anytime I didn't have anything, you know what I'm saying? Like on the rare occasion, I'd be like, hey, hit up, woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? Like I say, thing. But because this dude was a sucker for the pussy, bro. He was one of my boys too. Like, hey, hit him, hit him. I'll say, hit him Nancy. Yeah, hit him Nancy, really Nancy. Nancy be like, oh, I'll just come through and smoke y'all out. Like, bro, you are not getting no pussy for none of them, bro. You're just smoking them out. Smoking them out for free. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't do that for the homies. He'd be like, hey, y'all got fade on it? Man, this guy. Got some pussy on it. If you ever put your in, I'll smoke you out for free.
Oh, man. Yeah, because really with me, I don't know. I always felt the good weed karma, so I was always smoking people out. I mean, well, if I liked you enough, how about that? 'Cause I'm not just smoking with anybody,
But if I had time, bro, I'm smoking. Like, it was almost like if I was in the mall, bro, because that's another place. Like if I was like an action figure, like a mall would be like one of the play sets. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers for shopping, bro. And if we saw somebody at the mall, that's your boy. Hey, what's up, bro? Let's go smoke, bro. You know what I mean? It was always like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody see you, what do they want? Hey, bro, let's go burn, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's go. Yeah, I got it, man. Babe, I'll meet you at the food court. And my girl used to always be like, trip. She'd be like, how you just smoke with like all the kind of people? Like, and I trip off of it now, like, damn, we used to be like that. It used to be like, I'm just pulling on the same everything as everybody else. You know what I mean? You be at a concert or a game or something. You don't give a fuck.
Because the weed kills whatever germs we think are there, right?
I don't know. Or the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Hey, I just met you, but you know what? Let's hope you don't have hepatitis C. You know what I mean?
I guess it's just one of those things, right? Like, I mean, it's not like we're sharing needles. Over here.
Okay, even worse.
We assume weed smokers are just a little bit cleaner than the other types.
I mean, the motherfuckers that be like, needles is a little extreme, but here's one that people don't think of is like, you know what I'm saying? When they doing some blow, bro, they're doing like okay, Baker Mayfield, you knew he was a scummy when he had that picture and he was holding up the gold dollar bill because it was clearly $1. You know what I mean? It wasn't no crispy $100 bill or some shit. You feel me? He was putting hepatitis up his nose, bro. I'm just saying. Watch out. All y'all been in Vegas. I mean, it's bad enough. Go ahead.
Baker? Is that what you said? Baker Mayfield?
No, I'm sorry. His little brother, Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, wait, Baker got
Money Manziel. I'm sorry. Baker's a murderer, I'm sorry. Baker's a serial killer, not a cocaine. Money May, because I was thinking of Money Mayfield.
Yeah.
And then Money Manziel, yeah. But yeah, Money Manziel, there you go. Now it makes sense.
Derek said he saw the new Boogeyman over the weekend. Okay, said it was actually pretty good. I mean, all these I feel like.
How did I do in the movie?
It was the Bogeyman.
You read the title wrong. The Bogeyman. Just know that you beat the Bogeyman.
Now he's coming after you.
Yeah,
What up, kidda? Let's smoke it up. Yeah, Boogeyman. I mean, I guess I just don't like horror movies and scary movies. Really, like, I mean,
do they have an origin of the boogeyman? Because that's what I want to know. Because for years they've been talking about watch out for the boogeyman. Yo, what's the origin of the boogeyman, bro? Like, where did he come from, bro? Somebody, spoiler alert.
Derek's cracking up. The Bogeyman. If you don't have weed for him, he's killing you. That's the only way that you can get Bogey off.
Give him the weed, man.
Yeah, what was
the only way?
Remember in Scary Movie 2, the fucking plant comes to life. Now I'm gonna return the favor. I'm gonna smoke you. Rolls him up in the big ass. What was it? Rolled him up in the big ass sheet as the joint.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, don't put me out. I'm getting high as a motherfucker. Dope.
That shit was funny. I mean, hey, now when they shot him in the chest in the end,
yeah,
there's all the smoke coming out of him.
Shot me right in the lung. Man, you know what? It's wild though. It's crazy how Weinstein and those motherfuckers, because that's who they did the movie with, they pretty much kicked them out of Scary Movie 3. Like they were like negotiating their contracts and shit, and they're wanting hella money. They're about to turn this into a franchise. It already is. You know, and Weinstein's like, nah, we're just gonna get like people like Charlie Sheen to fucking do it. And like it was Marlon and Kevin Hart talking about this on that interview. And Kevin's like, man, I was in Scary Movie 3. He was like, I rolled up to the set. I'm like, where's Damon? Where's fucking Marlon and Sean? And
I don't believe that part. He rolled in there like he was in that meeting talking about I could be the next Marlon, and he's like, revenge, Damon.
Man, Kevin Hart wasn't nothing at that time.
He's like, revenge, Damon. He's like, listen, Marlon didn't get your girl to suck his dick. I don't care.
Kevin Hart was like nothing in that role. It was a hella small role. No way. He wasn't even
as balls
at that time. Not the Kevin Hart that he is now.
And you know what's the best is like, see Kevin Hart, you could tell like he's like insecure about his height. But like it was when the Eagles won that thing, and he was like, bruh, he thought he was larger than life.
Oh, he got up on that.
They just threw his ass. That's how you saw how small he was. Somebody sneezed and blew him right off the stage, bruh.
I mean, the way that you could see how
it was Jason Kelsey sneezed, bro, and the motherfucker flew, bro, like a bird. Like he took flight, like he fly Eagles fly, bro.
The way that you could really see how small he is him standing next to The Rock. That's what it is. And their fucking back and forth banter is so fucking funny because he's always talking shit about Kevin Hart's height and how small he is.
When you look at pictures of Kevin Hart when he was a kid with his mom, bro, he's sitting in her pouch, bro.
He's sitting in her coin purse. That's how she's.
He's a kangaroo, bro. He's little Roo from Winnie the Pooh. See, Winnie the Pooh, I heard they made a horror movie about him.
Did they?
It was like Blood and it was called Pooh Bear or something like that. Blood and Honey.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's like. I mean,
to the honey, right? That's what I'm assuming.
I was gonna say I don't know the premise, but I'm pretty sure he's having honey withdrawals, and there's folks in the way. Where was he from?
Wait! Get this. Isn't what if Pooh is the original cocaine bear? Honey, don't be smacking that hard.
So you're telling me Christopher Reeves, right? He's the dope dealer. Because then I'm like, Christopher Reeves goes hard, bro. I mean, he might have been on one. I mean, he's walking around in the forest. These are clearly stuffed animals that are talking to him. You know what I mean? Not like they're animals in the wild. They're stuffed animals.
He's hanging out with fucking Pooh and Tigger.
I mean, remember when Pooh had that tear in his ass? The cotton was coming out. It's like a classic Pooh story, and they had to sew his ass.
Man, don't forget about tonight's box break. We still got a handful of teams left. Cardinals, Panthers, Browns, Broncos, Lions, Texans, Colts, Raiders.
All right. What was my time, goddammit?
Patriots, Giants, Eagles, Bucks and Titans is who we got. Dope ass boxes this week too. Be ready. Dope boxes this week. We got the Playbook Mega Box. We got the Illusions Purple Panini Blaster Box.
What?
And we got the Don Russ Blaster Box as well. We're gonna get one of those downtowns tonight. I feel it. It's finally coming. Finally coming.
Forget about it.
Hey, Peacock in the house. What up?
Y'all down to do Guess Who again tonight?
Yeah.
Peacock, if you could throw us together one of them patented thumbnails for tonight. We're getting down with the Guess Who. I got a couple Guess Who's already in mind.
Oh man. And Marco said Boogeyman is a different name for the devil, I think. All these bad characters are always the devil.
I knew a rapper named the Boogeyman growing up, and his whole gimmick, first of all, he was straight from the slums, bro. Shout out to my man Boogie. But like this dude, and he had like kind of like a singing and rapping style, but he was like kind of like a politician type of I don't know, that's like the best way I can describe him. Because like he would also like wear suit and ties, that was his thing. But he is like a grimy black dude, and he had a grill, and he would wear the suit and tie, and he would have that baggy ass suit on, and he would do the rain dance. That was his whole thing. Hi, the rain, the Boogeyman. Hi, the rain dance, and like he would throw money and shit. And his music was hella trash, but he would keep it lit, bro. Real D-boy shit. He was out there throwing hella racks and shit. That was like his whole thing.
Yeah, Derek said he just got his delivery on the shirts from Peacock. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Peacock said I've had my nose in the books all week. It's got 4 online certifications since last Wednesday. Fundamentals of graphic design, transforming images in Adobe Illustrator, intro to graphics, and intro to UX and UI. Not sure what that means. What's the UX and UI mean? But there we go. Peacock.
I'm guessing like the U10 maybe.
I don't know.
You know what?
No, probably not.
Peacock, you're on the way, Peacock, bro. And they said peacocks couldn't fly. Poppycock. That's poppycock.
User interface. Okay, user interface. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, graphic design's tough. I know there's a lot of people out there who claim to be graphic designers because they know how to use Photoshop or throw a couple things together, but it's way different when you're doing what Peacock's doing and getting all these certificates and shit, taking the different courses and really honing the craft.
I ain't gonna lie, man. When I eat the shrooms and I get far enough, I see in graphics.
There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, user interface and user experience, website development. There we go.
There you go, man. You know what I'm saying?
All about the websites. And Zach said, "Oh, my grandpa farm." He said there was a peacock that I was deathly afraid of. That motherfucker who chased me every day. He was an angry bird.
Oh shit. Hey, listen, bro. And then when they see you, and the first thing they do, they just shoot the things open.
You thought
they just stun on you.
Had to remind you, you're not the alpha around here.
Like, listen, bro, I'm the flyest shit. Oh, you think I can't fly? But I'm fly, bro. You show me another bird that's dripping like this, bro. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that would just chase Zach out. Get the fuck away from my space. Coming over here with your colorful ass shirts and shit.
Zach came through wearing some FUBU, some lime green FUBU shit. Peacock was like, fuck that.
Oh man.
Hey, one time we were actually like, what does a peacock even sound like? Because we would always just be like, like whenever we see peacock,
Yeah.
And then like so Clock Googled it one time, and the shit sounds kind of crazy. It's
like even the even this sound. That's Sting's like intro when he was the Crow. So I mean, that was just the closest thing that we had.
But here's the thing, though. That's also like, does that make us racist? That we're just generalizing all birds? They all sound the same.
They all.
The chickens get mad, man, bro. Chickens clearly say, you know what I mean?
Marty said I had some BS come up yesterday during Jeopardy. He said I watched it back today. He said, "Nice choke, Bogey."
I swear to God, it makes it all better. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a winner, goddammit. I like to win things. I hate losing. But if it brought joy to people for that moment.
That shit was funny, man. That shit was hilarious.
I was dying after the fact so hard.
I mean, it's not like it's real money.
Allegedly, there might have been an answer.
It's not like it's real money. I mean, that's the thing, you know. Okay, here's a funny story.
I would have wagered nothing there after I clearly won. If it was real, I'd be like,
back when I was just the 420 hustler, I knew this chick who went to UC Riverside, and she ended up meeting someone whose mom was
URS.
But it was a vice president for this porno production company. I can't remember what it was called, and they were telling us how they were looking for extras and not to be in the movie. Like we didn't know. But,
this is how you got in that porno.
Yeah, well, and I'm in it, not having sex for the.
You're in it wearing an OJ. Get this, y'all. He's wearing an OJ Simpson jersey and he has Murder Ones on. And for those that don't know, in the hood, Murder Ones are gloves, black gloves.
So fucking funny. And I always have to preface that part. I'm not having sex. It's like a strip club movie, and I'm just like one of the extras, like in the background there. And she told me about it. She was like, "Yeah, just bring some weed up." She was like, "We're supposed to get paid for like going there as well." It was like $50 a day, but that's how much I get.
Was she an actress?
No, she was just like a college student, and like so it was her friend who she met through like they all smoked weed, you know, like that's just what it was. And so it was 2 guys and 2 girls is what it was in like their little weed smoking crew or whatever. And so it was one of the dudes.
That's probably like the coolest porn like I've ever heard of. Like, you know how like normally like they'd be like delivering a pizza. It's like, listen, we were just gonna have a session, bro, and all of a sudden we're fucking, bro.
Too much real life right there, man. It's too real. People want a fantasy. And but yeah,
this is before the day and age of first person porn. That's what I call them now, like first person shooters. Yeah. You know, where there's some, you know what I mean? Nowadays first person porn is just motherfuckers fucking, he's filming and shit, you know what I mean?
And this it's not a whole elaborate setup, but it's just like
but this was still like actual production porn. What is this, like over 10 years ago?
Yeah, it was like 2005.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So almost 20 years ago.
Building shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was crazy because we're in LA and it's like we're going through this ghetto ass area, like trying to find this. I'm like, fuck, like look at all these shitty ass buildings, and then we see this one nice building on the horizon. I was like, oh man, I hope it's that one. And it was, and they had a little private parking lot on the side, so like we were just, you know.
It would have been funny if it was right next to it. It was like the even shittier one.
And you go in.
We're doing a homeless porn shoot today, so we needed an abandoned looking building. So
what's funny is it's fucking like it's pretty much like a doctor's office or a lawyer's office. Like that's the vibe, you know, when you go in. But then every room is a different scene. It's like you go by one room and it's a locker room. And then you go by another room and it's like an Old West saloon. And then you go by another room and it's a fake bathroom. And you go by another one and then all the way in the back is where they had like.
I would have always been taking a dump in the old saloon. They'd be like, bro, you know, that's a fake toilet, right? It's an outhouse, bro. Yeah, but it makes you feel like I'm in the Old West. Yeah.
What up, Clock? Clock said my daughter graduates college today. Congrats, homie.
Hey, man, Clock.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? That's why I want to adopt Clock as my dad now, because you know what I mean, he knows how to get his children correct. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to find my way, Clock. Adopted dad. Yeah, man. Hey, congrats though, man. That's an awesome achievement. You know what's funny is that my motivation for my oldest, she's gonna be 16 this year. And I asked her too, like about a year ago. I remember I said, so, you know, because they're starting to do like the college thing, like in school, like, you know, like the college. What is it called? Like the where the different colleges come into school and they get, they have the little table set up and shit.
Yeah.
Right? And then she's 4 years. I mean, she's still 3 years away, but still. But anyways, and I said, so you want to go to college? She's like, hell yeah. She's like, I hella want to move. So I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? You want to get up out the house, you better get your shit straight, or you're stuck here with me. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. College.
I don't worry about her at all. Like, she's hella headstrong. Like, because like, you know what I'm saying? She's the first one. Like, we was trying to figure, we were kids when we had her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The motherfucker grew up with us, type of shit.
Yeah.
It's funny because like tech evolved with her. Like she's like age-wise, you know what I mean? With like smart things.
Yeah.
And so it's like she's the one that be fun. Hey, how do you do this, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Show me how to do this. I remember the PS5, right? Or the Xbox One. I remember we always set up all that shit, you know what I mean? And then the PS5. I was like, oh, you want me to set it up? She's like, I did it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Then I felt like, oh, my baby doesn't need me anymore. I'm like, she set up the PS5 by herself. She has her own email now. And you know what I'm saying? Like 10 years ago type of shit.
If you're a kid over the age of like 7 or 8 and you play video games, like you better know how to
have your own email.
Well, I'm not even talking about email.
Okay.
You better know how to plug that shit in and out. Like that's really because it's only 2 plugs.
Yeah, but it's not just that part.
Yeah.
That part's easy. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so setting up the account and doing all that shit. You know, the shit, and that's all easy too. It's just time consuming. The shit, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because she's older now. You know, when they're kids, like, oh, is it ready yet?
Yeah.
Hold on. Motherfucker's downloading that shit.
Yeah. Because even Noble, he's getting like that with certain stuff. And I showing him how to do it himself. Because, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, shit, this is the day they just growed up. And I remember one of my boys' kids, when the iPads was out and shit. And then, like, he picked up a magazine. He's all trying to swipe it. Dude, he's like 2 years old. You know what I mean? But it was like, oh, we was laughing like, oh, motherfucker thinks this is a thing, man. It's like, this is weird looking iPad.
What up, Chaotic? Chaotic in the house.
What up, Kate?
Yeah, these fucking kids, man. They better figure some of this shit out. Like they got it too easy. They're on easy street right now.
I mean, shit, not really. I think I feel bad for these kids, bro. It's probably hella harder for them to get pussy, bro. You know what I mean? Or like, you know what I mean? Or imagine like the kids like, okay, this is a real thing. People could Google this in Asia. The children in Asia, and I don't know what they consider children, maybe just not adults, you know what I mean? But like the non-adults, the minors in China, the epidemic is video game addiction and porn addiction.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, imagine like you're like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid, and you're just mad addicted to like porn, bro. Like regular pussy is never gonna cut it, bro. You're probably so desensitized to shit, and you don't have no game. He's probably at home ordering pizzas over and over again. Like thinking like, shit, I'm supposed to fuck one of these motherfuckers when they come to job, bro. But these guys keep showing up. I think I'm a heterosexual. Then they start getting confused about their sexuality. Next thing you know, they're fucking the pizza man, bro. Kids got it bad these days, bro.
You remember that Workaholics episode where it was like Valentine's Day, but because they watch so much porn, that's what they realized. It's like, man, we do not know how to talk to chicks.
That's what I'm saying. Even the Workaholics. I mean, okay, think about this. Just something as simple as friendships, right? So you got some homies that you know since back in the day that you still have around, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm fortunate that
Which is rare at 37.
Yeah, and I was just about to say I'm fortunate that like I have a long list of those motherfuckers because I guess because when you go through like, you know, when you all have PTSD from the same things together, you know what I mean? Kind of keeps you together for life at least. And then I'm that guy that makes sure like, you know what I'm saying? Like I stay tight with these motherfuckers. But anyways,
I mean, at least lived in bigger cities to where like we didn't move. Like a lot of motherfuckers are moving to where we're at. They want to move to that area versus us living in some shitty podunk town and everyone's like, fuck, I got to get to a big city.
Yeah, they call us townies. Like motherfuckers that didn't leave for a long time or don't leave. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Which I wouldn't even say someone's a townie if they live in a fucking.
Well, I'm saying
with over 1 million.
I mean, I'll be out of town all the time, but I never live nowhere. You know what I mean? I ain't never had my shit somewhere.
This is the first time I ever lived somewhere different.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so going back, so something as simple as friends. Like, you know, when I'm talking about with kids, you're talking about sex and stuff. That like how difficult it is just for or sexual relationships with the opposite sex or whatever their preference is, right?
Clock said he's got a group like that too that he grew up with. So that's dope.
Right? Yeah, hell yeah. And see, Clock, he comes from an island off the coast of Washington. And so it's like, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he's still got fools that never left the island. You know what I mean?
Maybe not, right?
They just, you know what? I'm still here at the island. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, how are things going? You know, same old. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
man, have you ever passed Baker, California? Do you remember that area? It's like usually an area where you got to stop.
Bakersfield?
No, Baker.
No.
It's they mention it in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's literally just like a gas station, like fucking fast food town. Like that's it. It's like one little street. And I was like, man, can you imagine like these people who like coming to Baker and then like just staying here forever must be the weirdest thing. And if you were born
me and my girl always say
here forever.
Hey, me and my girl always would say, because you know we always travel at night. Like whenever we go down to LA, we got the kids, so we always leave at
night.
As
you like looking at the celebrity houses at night. That's why.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. When we stop over at the little stops, and you know it'd be like the Starbucks, McDonald's, Subway, fucking boom, all in one, right? Yeah. And then there'll be like people working and shit, and it's like 24 hours, and I'd be like, where do these people live, man?
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's nothing around that shit. Like, but anyways, so look at going back to the friendship thing. Now at this age, at 38 and you're 37, I'm pretty sure like, you know, you only meet new friends according to circumstance. You know what I mean? Now it's like, this is a good buddy of mine. You know, you got to meet him, bro. He's going to be in our league. Oh, who is he? Oh, it's a guy I've been working with for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like people only meet people because they work with them or they, or, you know, we're in this fantasy community. Like I wouldn't have met motherfuckers like that. Like I'm not like going to a bar like, hey, bro, you look like a cool dude, man. You into fantasy football? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just meet. It's always circumstance. So I couldn't imagine like, or even me, like, man, God forbid, you know what I'm saying? I had to go hit the field again and chase some tail. I'd be like, fuck, dude. Like all these times I'm making fun of all my homies that they can't get no ass these days, or they're the old guy in the club. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know, I wonder how it is for kids these days. Like, I bet you it'd be two kids, they're talking online, bro, and then they're next to each other and wouldn't have a goddamn thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, fucking message me. You know what I mean? Maybe that'll be the thing now. Is that what it is? They're next to each other, messaging each other?
Probably.
Can I touch you?
I feel like super lucky though that weed and fantasy football brings so many people together and so many different types of people together. Because like, you know, during COVID and everything, you know, people are like really falling off, you know, on like hanging out with people. But man, like, you know, start doing this and it's like, man, I've just met so many people since COVID.
I mean, I'm the perfect example of that, bro. I was never on some online shit like that. Even like when we were doing, like I was already doing the podcast in 2019.
Yeah.
But like it was only audio, and we were never showing video shit. Like I was like, fuck, I ain't finished on camera because we were smoking and drinking, and like and sometimes and we would have like guests on, and you know what I mean, like and you know what I'm saying that would never work. Like my boy Franco, he was here the other day, right? He's like, hey, man, don't be on the side. Like, yeah, don't even trip, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see, like BS Barbarians, right? Like, I mean, he only got on social media because of COVID. Like, that was the only reason. He's canceled all of his shit, you know, since then. But he's not.
Imagine that though. It took that type of person who would never be on social media, but you get cut off from actual human contact like that. Our human contact got threatened. Like our public human contact was threatened. So it's like. People like me was like, all right, you know, this online thing is nice and sanitized. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, that's how I met Clock. I met you and Clock doing those Friday night shows. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say the name of the channel that we used to rock with, but like we used to be on that channel and we were getting loaded. on a
And
Friday night. And
some people are only around to serve whatever purpose they were around to serve. So
yeah, for
he
sure.
was around to serve that purpose to introduce us together. How about that?
I mean, yeah, hell yeah. I mean, that shit, like, I mean, shit, bro. That's just how it be, bro. It's the chain of events. It was written. You feel me?
Yeah.
We had to fulfill it. You know what I'm saying? Like our man Ricky said. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's written. It's not even sometimes. This shit is written.
I mean, how crazy is that? Is that this whole? If it's not for the whole pandemic, I never meet Hess. You know, he never comes into the. I mean, first off, I might not even have a YouTube channel if COVID didn't happen. So who knows? Like, because I didn't have. I mean, I was messing around with it, but I didn't go full force until like COVID hit, and I'm like, what the fuck are we gonna? You know, like I got to do something for like an outlet of just like anything, and. Yeah, it's crazy how it all worked out, and yeah, and if I was with someone else's like team, like because initially like I was gonna like team up with other people, but they had like
it's funny because that other team, I won't say either, but they are doing their thing really whack. This other team,
yeah,
stock exchange. Anyways,
yeah, way bigger following, you know, than us on YouTube.
But you know, way racist.
Yeah, well, and seeing like those two, maybe they weren't racist necessarily, but they hung out.
Oh yeah, but okay, hold on. I do gotta say this. That racist dude was Tyler Moss.
Yeah,
and it's funny because
you can call him out.
I'm gonna be honest. Tyler Moss came on with us a bunch of times, and Tyler Moss was a Canadian white dude that just would make racist jokes because he was just a funny white dude. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he was really racist.
No, so he wasn't Canadian. There's two other guys.
He wasn't Canadian. It was the other guys that were Canadian.
The guys who two out of the four guys.
He was the one from Florida? Oh, he was from Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was a racist.
Yeah, there's no racist people that come out of Florida, right? Chaotic. We're not talking about you, but I'm sure you ran into a couple of those idiots who you've had.
Hey, right. Hold on, Florida's hella racist, man. Like, you can't, like, in certain areas, I would say.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, just it's this
like when you're down there in the fucking country over there.
I mean, the swampland,
like
right?
In the swamps.
Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy that people would get American football advice from Canadians, but maybe that's why, you know, their channel is like as big as it is right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not like they have good advice or anything in their shit.
No, hold on, bro. You didn't know the first biggest ones repeatedly were all Canadians, bro. The first biggest ones that do all the fantasy animals, like Pat Mayo, the Justin Boone, fucking all these guys were. I mean, and then like,
see, I never fucked with any of those guys.
Yeah, well, maybe it's because they were the ones that were like super available too. You know what I mean? Like those guys were all hella available. You know what I mean? Like as far as like YouTube, all this shit, because like I've been looking for content since like 2014. That's how I found the footballers. And then when I found the footballers, I didn't even know that was their first year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they were sponsored by Sleeper Bot.
Yeah, Sleeper Bot.
And it made that noise. And I used to use Sleeper, but never for their for the platform.
Yeah,
I would go on there and get the update. The what is it called? All the blurbs and you know what I mean.
And see, I was so tapped in.
Injury reports were faster than Yahoo, and like you know what I mean.
See, I was so tapped in because I was the dude who'd go and I was on Twitter. Like I'd never post on Twitter, but I used Twitter to go follow Adam Schefter and literally every beat reporter, you know, out there. So like, had I only been on it, I could have did what my fantasy life did before they even did it. But I was just doing that myself just for all the info. So I only listened to the Ballers and to ESPN because I needed things to like listen to at work. I was never like, every time I heard a fantasy podcast, like I got so annoyed with how shitty they sounded and like how like dumb it sounded.
Here's my thing: is they all sounded smart as fuck to me at first. Then like after like a couple years in, I'd say maybe like by the time about the time I got to like 2015, 16. So I've been playing since 2013. Yeah, I was like, it was already. I already outgrew the information. Yeah. Like you know what I mean? It was like I would listen to the guys that I liked. Yeah, that I agreed with.
It had to be entertaining. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, and then I would look for I was looking for confirmation bias. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like when I used to watch the footballers, like I used to not like it if I liked someone that Andy was hell on. I'm like,
because he was always fucking missing on guys
swinging for the fences.
Yeah,
he was always swinging for the fences. I'd be like, all right, a little too. And then Pat Mayo, like I remember he used to do weekly. So in my first iterations of the show, I would do week to week rankings, right? Every position. And I, you know, with receivers, I do top 40. Running backs, I do top 30. And then fucking everything else I do top 12. Except for QB, actually QB I do top 24. But and you know, I got this from Pat Mayo, because Pat Mayo, he would do rankings and have someone smarter than him debate his rankings. You know what I mean? And then he would make the adjustments. So in this case, I would have Steamboat come on, and Steamboat, we used to do the show every night at 8:00 p.m. West Coast time. It wasn't live, so I'd record it, then I'd upload it and be up in the morning. You know what I mean? So like he would come through after work, and then you know he didn't really, he's not much of a drinker, but he would always bring me like a pack of 3 tall cans. That was like the thing. And then he'd bring me a pack of backwoods if I asked for it. And then you
guys are gonna get on like a 2 or 3 hour show, right? And just
it's usually about he was really good, bro, because he lived in Los Banos, or he lives in Los Banos, so that's like an hour and a half south of San Jose, and he worked in Palo Alto,
so he had a mission back and forth.
Yeah, so like it would be like we were always on point, because it'd be like, all right, Buggy, it's about an hour and 15 now. Come on, wrap it up. Like, you know what I mean? I'll let you go for an extra 15. Like he was one of them guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, so
Chaotic said, I'm always curious about how you feel about some of the others I've listened to, etc. We just keep it real, just like we keep it real about.
Yeah, okay. Who do you got for me?
Yeah,
I'll tell you, because I used to fuck with a lot of content, but now all I fuck with for real is like non-fantasy pods, and then there's what's my guy's name? Pat McAfee. Yeah, that's like the only other one, because it's just like and that's really just because when we're not on, then I watch him until like we get back on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I just like listening to interviews and shit. Like, I mean, in a lot of these podcasts, like the Pivot podcast is dope. They're always having you get to hear a little insight, you know, from some players before the year. And I mean, Barstool, I don't listen. I listen to them like every once in a while, but it's if they get a player on that I really like, you know, something like that. We'll get in the mix and listen to one of their interviews. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I can't listen. First off, a lot of these fantasy podcasts aren't that entertaining. And I can't listen to advice that sounds stupid. Like the IDP guys, for example, they were the first like IDP podcast like that I just remember out there. I really wanted them to be good, and they were shitty. Like their takes are just shit. Like you could tell by the way that they talk that they don't watch a lot of football games. Like they're going off of stats and shit like that. And if someone doesn't watch a lot of football, I just lose respect for them as the
okay. If I'm doing like start sit like contemplations, right, for like skill positions, right? You know, you're like, oh, okay, do I stream this receiver? Or you know what? He's playing against a tough secondary. You know what? I'm gonna play this receiver. Right? It's the same thing for IDP, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, man. But see, you gotta think more in depth with IDP. Like, it's another layer to it. Like, okay, I think this team's gonna be like, this is what I'm talking about when you're streaming guys, right? Or figuring out start sits, right? Like linebackers versus this linebacker. You're probably like, oh well, you know what? They're probably gonna be losing the fuck out of this game. You know what I mean? They're playing Mahomes in the, you know what I mean? Like, or you know what I'm saying? Or maybe not Mahomes, not a good example. Maybe like, oh, they're playing Detroit. I think Detroit's gonna smash them, bro. They're gonna run a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna start this linebacker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably gonna get hella tackles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There's the logic. There's never no IDP content where people are breaking shit down like that, like we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And everything's a case by case, bro. Everything's a case by case. And like, I think that's our problem, that we don't like that most content is generalized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and they're generalizing to the non-degenerates, right? Just people that enjoy fantasy.
Yeah.
We're for the degenerates, bro. Like this is some real, like, you know what I mean? Like it's
Like
designed to have no luck when you fuck with us.
Because during the season, we're literally on shows doing the Q&As or whatever, doing the news breaks about something. You got to go pick up this person. We're literally all going and picking up these people in the first wave of anybody who even heard the news. You know, so like that's just, we're on it because we're savages ourselves. And Peacock said, I listen to ESPN and Fox Sports Radio. Like, Doug, what is this? Go leave.
Doug Baldwin? Doug Baldwin? Doug, what's his name? Baldwin?
Yeah, there you go. And
I fuck with Doug. Well, back in the days when he was on CBS Sports, him, I used to listen to Jim Rome, and then Doug Gauntlin would come on right after. And like that was, and I didn't even listen to it on the radio. I would throw it on the TV, and this is when I, and you know, when I had my second born, because like there was bro, he was like a part of my life for like 2 years, bro. Him and Jim Rome. Jim Rome, I actually kept up with for a while after the fact, and it's funny because people like one time I mentioned Jim Rome to Spencer, he's like, "Oh, I love Jim Rome." Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, tight," you know. And he grew up on Jim Rome, and I forgot. Oh shit, it's right, you're young. You know what I mean?
This funny cat said, no, I can't. I have my opinions. But said, I recently got kicked out of one's league, though. Always wonder if he's on here, too. Monotone? Never heard of him.
No, but he sounds like I'd be like. I mean,
it already sounds boring, right?
Like a monotone, bitch.
Sounds boring. And Marco said, the Football Bromance podcast is another one I've listened to. Okay, haven't heard of that one. Oh, monotone isn't the name. Well, what's the name? What's the name of it? And
it's funny too because when I just thought of it too when we're saying there's people in Florida. We're like not talking about you, chaotic, but she's Cuban, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Not talking about her, but I know that she knows some. I'm sure she's came across some racist people in Florida. And Bake said, I listen to Schmitty and Ron Stewart whenever we aren't live. He said the NFL dynasty stock for analytics and rookies. One thing I'll say about Schmitty is that out of a lot of these people out there, like, you know, who we may talk shit about, like, oh, like BDGE or whatever, like they're not streaming as much as us, like shit like that. Schmitty's the only one who I know who put out more videos than we did last year.
I'll tell you this much, because Schmitty puts out a lot of shorts too, and also Schmitty's hella funny, man. Like I'd be laughing at him, man, because like I used to always get Schmitty hella mad, man. And Schmitty, shout out to Schmitty, because from the outside looking in, you know, his following and all this stuff, and I was thinking, oh, this guy's like not super big, but like maybe he'll come collab with me. And he was actually one of the first people that came on the show back in the days when it was just the audio iteration, right?
Yeah,
of Playmakers. And it's funny because like we were doing it was the NFC Championship week of 2020, right? So it was the NFC Championship. So it's Niners at home versus the Packers. I'm going to the game, right? And it's like 2 days before it, and also, you know, you have the Chiefs and the Titans. So I'm bringing him on, right? And it's funny because he's in Arizona, and at the time they don't do DraftKings and stuff. I don't know this because I'm thinking, you know, oh, he's from Arizona, like the Ballers, they do DraftKings shit, blah, 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 right? But you know what I'm saying? Content, at least. I didn't know they can't play. So, like, I go, hey, so he knows this is part of the show. I'm going to interview him and all this stuff. Then to close the show, we're going to together set a DraftKings lineup. And I'm actually going to punch in the lineup, right?
Yeah.
On the DraftKings.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, you know, because I set up hella lineups, right? So I'm like, fuck it, we'll do them. And then, like, so he's like, we have to have Aaron Jones. And I'm like, against my Niners? I'm like, tripping, bro. We have to have Raheem Mostert, bro. He's cheaper. I'm going to put him in a flex. We have to have Derrick Henry. And we have to have Travis Kelce and Mahomes. I'm like, then we go cheap everywhere else. To do that, we have to have Mostert, guys, cheap guys like that. Debo, you know what I mean? Even though Debo didn't put up he didn't do nothing, put up like a donut, because like Jimmy only threw the ball like 8 times. But the point was, and the defense, we put the Niners defense. The point was,
you were just on it.
He was just, but he wasn't. He was wrong on every one of them. And like, so I chopped that clip and I posted it to my Instagram because that's what I used to do. You know what I mean? And fucking, and you know what I mean? But he was a good sport about it because he actually shared the shit. Like, when I tagged on his story, you know what I mean? I was like, oh hell yeah! Because before that, my other encounters are like the fantasy rapper and all these other like big names at the time. All these guys were all dickheads, you know what I mean? And then there was the fantasy couch, hella cool, and you know what I mean, small world shit. He's from Vallejo, so it's like, oh word, yeah, and he's a Niner. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, and he was that dude is always a phone call away. I actually during the draft, I text him, hey, you want to come on in the draft in the Niner shit? You know what I'm saying? On day 3, you know, I mean, on day 2, and you know that's day 2, and he was down. I just forgot to hit him back. You know what I mean? But dude got a massive following. He's really good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the fantasy couch, Hussein the Brain, he is really good. You know what I'm saying? Like just offense shit. But when it comes to that, like really good, like a type of dude that'll be like, nah, I don't know about Jonathan Taylor this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like some really like, where like, you know, you're like, oh, that's not chalk at all. You know what I mean? And there's some logic to it, even if he's wrong or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, shit that I would do. You know what I'm saying?
Schmitty is fucking funny though, because like, when I met him,
because he's hella wrong all the time.
Well, not just that.
Hey, he is so wrong.
He's just goofy. Let's just put it that way. So we met in what's it called, in the Clubhouse app during COVID. You know, just something else that we're doing. Like there was some fantasy podcast or some fantasy people who were putting together these Clubhouse, and so I would hop in, and he was in there in one of them, and then it was funny. Like I can't remember what he was talking about, but just sounds even funnier when you can't see his face and you just hear the lisp, like on every. I
always told him, I used to be like, "Hey, you're a gym teacher, huh?" Because he so looks like a high school gym teacher.
He
maybe
totally
a
does.
guy. And
So
then like his whole thing was take a lap. Like, you know, like when I remember I used to hit the Jamaican horns all the time. That was like my shit, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when the first time he was on my show, I was hitting Jamaican horns. And he's like, oh, I got one of those too. And he's like hitting his.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But then I found out he's like a music guy. Not a music guy per se, but he's a sound engineer.
Okay.
Like he did that for a radio station type of shit.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, because then I could identify him on that aspect. And like, oh, I fuck with audio, bro. That's what's up. You know what I mean? But then it was like he would do things like, you got 45 minutes. Okay. And then we go on for like an hour and a half and shit because he's ranting about Matthew Berry and how like.
That's what I was going to say. Right before we got on the show, he was like, yeah, I've got like 30, 35 minutes. And I was like, all right. And like, no one's ever.
You got a class to teach? You got a gym class?
No one ever told me that. I'd recently had like Adam Rank, like Marcus Grant, James Coe, like all those guys were on within like, I don't know, maybe like 60 days of when Schmitty was on, kind of all spread out. So I was like, oh man, this guy's a douche already. And but yeah, just like Bogey said, then we get on and it's like literally an hour and a half pod. Like in like 30 or 45 minutes, I was like, and I know you gotta go, Schmitty. And he's like, oh no, it's all right, let's keep it going.
Nah, the funniest though, because I already told you my experience with Schmitty, and since then, like me and Schmitty, I would always just throw shots at him because it'll rile him up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And he's always with the smoke too. That's what I like about Schmitty. You know, he'll love a good back and forth. And I used to do that early on. I used to get in people's chats and be like, bro, you're hella wrong. Like, and I'd break down why. You know what I mean? I'm fucking right? And like, so I used to get on him. That's how I met you know what's funny? That's how I met the Fantasy Lord.
Okay.
Right? That guy ended up actually working with Matthew Berry. Black dude from Atlanta, from South Atlanta. And it's funny because I got folks from South Atlanta, so I knew he was from South Atlanta. So when I first got him on the show, I'm like, hey, I know you're from Atlanta. You always be rapping, but you from South Atlanta, huh? He's like, yeah, how you know? I'm like, it's the way it's your accent. It's very specific, the way they say shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but anyways, that dude. So I was getting on the Schmitty about some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he was getting in there commenting, like on my side of shit, like, yeah, the boy knows he's talking about woo woo. And then you know, I start following him, and now I'm watching his posts and shit because now I'm following him, and he posts some shit. He was like, he was like Julio Jones is not a top 5 and blah blah blah. I'm a Falcons fan. I'll tell y'all he's done for fantasy, but this is like 2020, right? And then fucking Smitty jumps all the way out the window about it. You know what I mean? Oh, how could you say that? And Julio Jones and the talent, he's one of the greatest and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And like, it was just funny because he checked the shit out of Smitty. And then Smitty was like, you need to come on my show. Like, and Smitty actually brought him on his show, and Smitty brings no one on his show. But then I think it was because Smitty's smart, like, because this kid was like, and it's funny because, like, listen, hold on. I feel like because he knew, maybe he didn't know about the Matthew Berry shit. No one knew, actually. But what's funny is, like, I wonder if the Lord knew about his history with Matthew Berry, because I didn't know about it till Smitty came on my show the second time. And he brought up, yeah, me and Matthew Berry, we kind of had our come-ups together, and he went the way of video and television, and I went the way of radio and vlogging. And I'm like, okay, and I'm like, oh really? And then like it's the same thing. He said, oh, I only got like 30 minutes, but then he goes on for like 45 minutes ranting about Matthew Berry, like almost like he didn't like the guy. Like I was just like, oh, I'm just letting it go. This is good. And then like it's funny because he has this whole like online fantasy smoke with the fantasy Lord, and the Lord ends up being on with Matthew Berry.
That's funny.
I swear. And then Smitty, like a pathetic ass, was always riding the Lord's dick after that. And you ain't never seen Smitty on their show. You know what I mean? And I don't think but what's funny is like because Matthew Berry's a funny style guy like that too, because I'm sure like the reason he picked up the homie Lawrence for that time, the fantasy Lord, was because everybody was coloring up their shit, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. He was. I mean, I don't know how
because he ain't on there now, and of course that opened up hella opportunities for the Lord. He's doing his own thing still, and you know what I'm saying. But like, it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. People always do things when it helps the bottom line.
Yeah.
But
it's like what they should be doing because like
the
for
right
example,
thing to do, and they're actually good at what they do.
Yeah, like this dude, the fantasy Lord, was legit. Like he was like, I'm shit. Yeah, and it was one of those dudes like he played football, like he played college ball and shit, and he played defense, so he would like break down like stunts. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's legit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what I mean? I'm like, hold on. It was on my podcast. Like, hold on, wait. So for those that don't know, what is a stunt? Asking for a friend. It's like, oh, makes total sense.
And Chaotix, I did manage to find more females on Sleeper, so I'm in another paid league with another set of 12 females. It's up to over 40 females. So I'm impressed by that. And it's funny. Fake Law said half of them females are just men that identify as them.
That's funny. Hey man, women is women. You got, you know what I mean? You can't deny that these days.
And I know we have a handful in the 420 crew. Like maybe they're not always, in the YouTube chat, but I know we do have a handful in there as well. So yeah, Chaotic. Maybe we can.
Bro, my first, you know who my first fantasy rival was? It was a female.
Okay.
It was so I have my home league like I always did, and I had my music league, and my boy that I made music with, he played fantasy forever. You know what I mean? They had this league already a couple years before this is my first year in it, right? And then his wife was in it. And I don't like couples in it and shit. And then he'd be like, bro, trust me, bro, she ain't sharing nothing with me, bro. And like she was hella good. And like, you know what I hated is like she was the type of motherfucker that were like first of all, shout out to her. I love her because she actually would listen to the early days of my pod. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And like, and throw shit back at me. Like I'd be like, "Oh, nice pickup." She's like, "Yep." You know what I mean? I heard you say it on the pod. I was like, "Fuck that! I'm putting them priority." Like on the, you know what I mean? On the waiver, I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like she's listening to my shit. You know what I mean? But anyways, she beat me in the first Super Bowl I won in. Right? She beat me in 2 Super Bowls. I beat her in 1. You know what I'm saying? Then ironically, I beat another female to get my second title.
Okay.
So it's like in that league, for those years.
That's the music league.
Yeah, that's my music league. And so one was the homegirl, she rapped and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then the other one was the homie's wife. But she was hella good, the homie's wife. Like always sniping me in the drafts, always like, you know what I mean? I'll be like, look. She'd have her little notebook. You know what I mean? It's always a live draft and shit. She was flipping through the pages. I'm like, she got hella pages over there. You know what I mean? I'm like I remember like one time we were 1, 2, and 3, right? It was like me, her, and then the other broad, right? We were 1, 2, and 3. I was 2. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, if she don't take fucking Antonio Brown here, I'm taking David Johnson. And then I started thinking, you know what? I don't even want Antonio Brown. And this is 2015. I mean, this is 2016.
Okay.
So, you know, David Johnson's about to be that guy. Like, it's almost crazy I'm taking him in the second overall. Because we just saw the flash of it, like, for like half a season. But it was incredible. You know what I'm saying? Then we start the clock. Because this league, they had an actual clock. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That bullshit. Right? Not even no delay. David Johnson. I'm like, what the fuck? And she beat me in the chip that year, bro.
Damn.
Hot. Hot as fuck. That was that crazy David Johnson year.
And Chaotic said, I sometimes don't know if it's good or how I feel about the all-female concept. I wonder if it doesn't send the wrong message, like my original sleeper name, you lost to a girl.
I mean, how about...
And I guess because it's a male-dominated area, right? Because, I mean, it's still probably like 99% male to 1% female. Hopefully it's growing every year, though, but...
Make your team name, it's a woman's world. Or no, women's world, right? But the M and the A and the N are capitalized. There you go. Oh, and put it in quotations, too. It's like a double quadruple entendre. It's like it's a woman's world. It's a man's world.
Yeah, and seeing
it's a cisgender world,
and especially like the ladies who end up playing in our leagues. Like we've had multiple that have won like playoff leagues and stuff like that. In the last couple years, and. Yeah, I mean, we got to get more joining the dynasties, with us, and the redrafts is what it is for sure.
I mean, that's just how it be, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, my girl will probably whoop up hella fools in fantasy, but see, this is what it would take is like her doing like a series of mock drafts because it's like watching her. Like she got 3 different gigs right now, and then she's going through training for one of them, and she's like, this one's hella easy. Like when she came home yesterday, she's like, it's hella easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like all she has to do is get into a routine or something. You know what I mean? Like I hate it when she'll come in and say some random shit. Like, are you starting on you today? I'm like, nah. Why? She's about to go off. I'm like, based on what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, based on what? And then it was that fucking 2-touchdown game against Denver. I was like, what in the fuck? I was like, you start them? Not everywhere. Where I had to. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Bake said, I remember taking David Johnson at the 1-7 that year. I started, and said, I think it was the 2015, his rookie year, won my first.
See, if you took, it was a rookie startup? Is that what he said?
No.
Because it was CJ Johnson. CJ2K was the starter to start the year, and they drafted him as a rookie. He was like a third round, Bruce Arians' third round running backs was like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He was like the waiver wire darling that you like picked up at the end of the season.
It was the 2016 year when he was set to be the starter, hands down, and you know what I mean? And he was about to just go crazy.
And that was the year that the 4 wide receivers were like touted as the 1, 2, 3, 4, like just by consensus everywhere. And Todd Gurley,
it was the 0 RB. So during those years, there was a split between content creators. It was like the 0 RB truthers, and then the running back heavy guys. You know what I mean?
Because Todd Gurley and David Johnson were like the only like first round running backs.
Lev Bell and Zeke. So those 4 went crazy that year. You know what I mean? Left Bell ended up getting hurt. Didn't finish the year out. Oh, no. Yeah, was that the year he didn't finish out? Yeah, it was. It was the year he didn't finish out.
Yeah.
But he was suspended early, too. But he still went crazy.
Yeah. What up, office? Morning, guys. Been in a lot of redraft work leagues with 50-50 men and women split ratios, and they said those ladies have a blast. Yeah, because I mean, as long as you like football, like who's not gonna have fun with fantasy football and the camaraderie and
and you know if you tell me the difference between men and women, I would say I would say women have a better attention span than men overall. I would say that because it's like that's what it is in fantasy. If you ask me personally, my opinion, I'll sum it up as it's a race for information. Who's the fastest? Who's paying attention? And this is like in-season shit because that's more important to me, or just as important than your draft and your preparation for the draft. It's like, how are you managing your team in season? If you're paying attention, you're able to like see the blurbs or hear the news that comes out first, and maybe pick a player up first. If you're playing leagues that players are open after waivers, you know what I mean? Like, how many times does that make a difference? Like.
Yeah, how many times have we seen a team that was like a bad drafted team just be on it throughout the season, and they make the playoffs and make a little run? I mean, shit. Like, I know that one of the years that I won a championship, that was me, had like a couple good picks, but then I missed on so many, but just like waiver wire pickups and being a week or two earlier than everybody else, you know, before guys really broke out. I mean,
yeah. That's one of the things that when you follow us week to week, you know what I'm saying, during the season, we're pointing things out like that. Snap counts, you know what I'm saying? When you got a player that you're anticipating on getting a gig or getting more time on the field, you got to watch some snap counts. And when they start to rise from week to week, you grab those motherfuckers up, and we're going to tell y'all, hey, go grab so-and-so right now. You know what I mean?
Remember that Guccini redraft league? Like, that was the one where I'd go like 0 RB, and I picked Javonte and Travis Etienne, I think, in the first year, and the third one that I had was James White, and those are the only 3 running backs I drafted. Etienne goes down, obviously, and then but man, Bogey, was I not on every running back, free agent like a week or two earlier?
You had to be, because not only did you have to be weeks early. Is because everybody is on it. Nobody is falling. Nobody's not getting claimed. Like, whenever someone's getting hot, no one's not seeing it. So you have to see when they heating up, you know what I'm saying, before everybody, you know what I mean? And then we're going to be letting motherfuckers know, hey, yo, pick up so-and-so right now. You know what I mean? If you got room, you know what I mean? And like, just be like that.
Because I'll tell you, that Jeremy McNichols game, I felt so good having him on my roster.
Yeah, he goes up, puts up like
2 receptions or some shit or whatever the hell it was.
That was like 11. It was like he had like 13 targets, like 10 receptions, something like that.
Ridiculous. And like 2 rushes, and that was it.
And I think like he had 2 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he went crazy, like, you know what I mean? And that was a spot start, but you had been holding on to him for a couple weeks already, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was short-lived, but but it didn't matter because, you know what I'm saying, when you're playing in season, whether it's redraft or dynasty, man, and if you're trying to win, you're week to week. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to fucking do. Yeah. And we are more speaking of the redraft aspect.
Yeah, dynasty, you're not going to be able to do that. Yeah, this was a redraft league. Yeah. So yeah, dynasty, especially.
That's why in dynasty I started man. So see, I felt like I caved in last night in that trade I made.
I mean, it was super even. I mean,
super even. Yeah, but see, here's the thing: is like prior to that, right? He sends. You know, I let it cool down because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had rejected my last one, so I just let it cool down. Then he comes at me with an offer, and so he's sending me Jacoby Brissett because I have Sam Howell, right? Then he's sending me Jalen Warren because I have Najee, and he was sending me Israel because I have Brees. Whether or not Israel's a guy and it's Michael Carter, I want that guy because they drafted him as new offensive coordinator. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, so I want him, right? Yeah. And he's sending me a 4th round. So to run it back, he was sending me Jacoby Brissett, Jalen Warren, Israel, and a 4th round. And then he was asking for Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, what's that man's name? Gardner Minshew, the Ginsu, and Brian Robinson, right? Because he has Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson over there.
Dang,
right?
so you guys trimmed a lot.
Hold on. But I'm not coming off no Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
But I'll come off Khalil Herbert. So, and I have an extra third, so I throw him Guccini's third, which is probably, which I hope is higher than mine. I don't want to jinx myself, right? But I throw him, so, and then he rejects it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like, I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Then he sends me that one, like later on the site, because I just leave it alone. Then he sends me that one, the one that I hit accept on.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the win-win.
Andy Dalton and Gardner Minshew for Jacoby Brissett and Jalen Warren.
Yeah. Because it's like, I want to lock up my Najee, right? Najee kind of scares me. He's running back, period. Right? I mean, fucking the news with the Jacoby Brissett or the Sam Howell, that's my third start. So I need to lock up that. That's my third quarterback. These are moves you got to make in Dynasty, I feel, right? Like team-specific things.
Yeah.
Like, even I had Tyler Huntley.
Trading for your backups, and I mean, he's trading for his backups. You're trading for your backups.
Yeah, and it's like, then but like my prices are usually not that cheap. You know what I mean? That's
when I saw it, I was like, this is a pretty blah trade, but whatever. That's process.
Yeah, like Tyler Huntley for Frankie Louvu. That's what I was talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here we go. That's what we're talking about, because it's
bench player into a starter right there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And because he, even though I know Peacock didn't want to come off Frankie Louisville or anyone that's a starter like that, and he even told me this guy was an intricate part of my run last year. You know what I'm saying? But he still had better linebackers. He's got to have PTSD a little bit from losing his starters in the playoffs and being the number one seed, and you know what I mean? And
yeah, but he has other linebackers, right? Like better linebackers.
Yeah, one of them. And like originally, I went for the gusto. I tried to go for Jordan Brooks, but no one's coming off Jordan Brooks. But maybe because of the ACL. But then I was like, you know what? I want to win now. What if I have to wait on Jordan Brooks? So when we settled on Louvu, I was like, hell yeah, what's up, boy?
Yeah. And Peacock said I have Dalvin Cook for sale in that same league, Bogey.
I got hella running backs now, but I'll give you 2/3 for Dalvin.
Ooh,
I'll give you 2/3 right now.
Peacock said I have dope LBs. I needed Lamar Jackson insurance. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because it's really difficult to have a QB of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just period in these leagues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, I didn't even have a third last year. I had like Jameis Winston was my third, but so because of Jameis Winston, I grabbed Andy Dalton, and then like I did in the draft, I grabbed the Ginsu and Huntley. Hey, can you lower it down, please, son?
Yeah, it was funny. Chaotic said, I'm gonna make a baby-proof playroom /
Lower it down, lower it down a little bit.
I like it. And let's see. Before we get out of here, reminder: get in on the box break tonight. Going down at around 4:20 West Coast time. Got a handful of teams left. I'll post about it in Patreon. And the August event, if you haven't locked in your spot yet, August 18th, 19th, and 20th, and we still got a couple spots in the $600 league. That's the one where we got the dopest fantasy championship belt that anyone's ever gonna have. Shits all over Trophy Smack, belts. And I cannot wait. And it's gonna be the same setup as the Dynasty leagues, but it's gonna be a redraft league. Same roster, same scoring, same all that shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this shit's gonna be dumbass lit.
Yeah, maybe one. Yeah. I cannot wait. That one's gonna be fucking sick. We're finally bringing it back. So this one took a 1 or 2 year hiatus. I don't know how many year hiatus it took. It's 1 or 2 years, but this was the one that was always the San Diego Green Bowl, and it was always like $100 league, and it'd been around on Yahoo since like 2008. And guys like Zoo Crew and Kidda and Chipokawaka, like,
are they coming out?
So Zoo Crew is Chipokawaka's like fucking Tom Green. He doesn't really leave too much because he's got a lot of He's got a dog. They got a dog breeding business now. And stuff.
Okay,
They just got like a lot of things like going on business wise. And Kidda, I don't know. He's non-committal at the moment. But this is we raised the stakes a lot. In this one, it went from 100 to 600 now. And
it was Bogey's idea.
No, but I mean, we wanted to have something like this, and we wanted to have it epic, and like the whole reason for the Vegas event was for for epic drafts, and like this is this is epic. It started off as a $500
and
league.
I know my man Nancy wants to spot that one too. So
okay, I know. That started off as a $100 league, and like it sounds cool being a $100 league, and then getting a ring, but then we're like, shit, $500. And like, man, like this is gonna. Then it's like the league of leagues. At least that.
And we're drafting in Vegas. It's like it fits the Vegas narrative. It's high stakes, and
high stakes. And then and then we start thinking about the belt, and like for this ultimate high stakes league, we need an ultimate high stakes prize. Like we can't just be getting, because I mean we're still gonna we gotta have a prize.
A prize it's like wearing it's like when you get a motherfucking jacket, right? And you're part of the club. Like now you get a belt, and you get to bring this belt every year. It's your belt forever. You know what I mean?
And it's a dope ass fucking like wrestle. I mean, it's a wrestling quality belt. Like the company what is this? Snaps and Straps is the company name, and they make belts for all types of indie companies, but they also make the person who owns the company, he's a wrestling belt collector. And if it pretty much turned from his addiction into a fucking company where he started making these fucking belts and getting all the connections to get the real deal leather and the rattlesnakes and all that shit. And so like his collection, if you go follow him, I think it's the real belt collector, or the real deal belt collector. He just showed like a part of his collection. He had like all the WWE belts, like had the Austin one, multiple of the styles of the WWF championships, had the Intercontinentals, had the tag teams.
And these are like the official ones?
So yeah, it's the official ones that he has. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
like the official replicas, or he got like the joints for real?
Oh no, it's the official replicas. I know that he said that he was able to buy some eventually, that eBay like type shit, where he has some that were like official belts. I don't know which ones are those though.
Cray and the motherfucker Z.
Yeah, so that those are the kind of people that I attract. Just these straight savages, and like the belt, super fucking cool. Like, I mean, I had to pay, more than I paid for anything in the past to get this belt. Hold on, let me pull it out here. So
bust that thing out.
And this was just to have swag, like literally podcast swag is what it is. Because this isn't even from a league or anything. This is just like, instead of all the rings and everything, this was my championship prize, like to myself. And like it's for those who don't know the style, it's like the Stone Cold. He had his signature belt. Yeah, the Smoking Skull. So it's like the same exact style, but we put the FFH for FF Hustler on there. It's got a football and a bong on there, and we got the 420 crew like side plate, and then there's another 420 crew where is it? Side plate.
Yeah. So you get to, so basically what we're telling y'all is, man, if you win this league, you get to design your own belt, bruh.
Yeah, like if you want to have it to where
it's me, bruh, and I'm sitting on the toilet. And I'm like this on my phone, bruh. Because you know how many titles how many championship moves out of the made sitting on the toilet, bruh.
And look at this, got the official rattlesnake fucking skin on the back, for just trying to be like the Austin 316. And that was one of those things that took a little while, was getting the actual, because it's not like bullshit. Like, I mean, just whatever it is, whatever.
The rattles, he had to get a rattlesnake skin leather, bro.
Yeah. And Mix-a-Lot said, how deep is the bench in that league? So I think it's going to be.
We actually discussed this. It's probably going to be a 30-round draft because Maybe 30, 31, maybe 30.
Yeah, because I feel like I want to make the benches like maybe like 75% of the starters. So like, what would that? Like,
I mean,
be? It's because we got 19 starters.
We're gonna have 19 starters, so
well, 75% is 14. So it'll be, yeah, I'd say somewhere between 11 and 14.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe 32 rounds, 34, 33.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to be the same structure. It's going to be the same starting lineup structure as the Hustler Dynasties.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the scoring format, everything's going to be the same. Only thing is redraft.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Office said any punishment in that league for the loser may be participating in the NFL combine drills. Well, we could come up with something, like that. I mean, shit.
I don't know. I think this is for a conversation of people in this league. You want to have this conversation? Put the money down.
Because really, like
I think there's 11 losers in this league, and they're all mad as fuck. You know what I'm saying? There's only one that will be triumphant.
Yeah, because the way that it's going to work out. So here's the payout structure. Hold on, let me find this. Yeah, so it's based on 500 because 100 of this 600 is going towards the belt. Because this is something that's like, this is like a $1,500 and $2,000 belt. So us even getting it for like $1,200 is going to be like a big discount for whoever gets it. So first place, $3,500. Second place, $1,000. Third place, $500. Best record, $100. Most points, $100. And then every single week, because it adds up to $700 here.
What's the second place?
$1,000. We're doing the weekly top score, so it's $50 each week for the top score. 14 weeks, only the regular season, and it's $50 each week that you take home the top score.
This is a skim-free league.
Yep.
I like it.
Because
it's
500, not 600. That's what we got to remember. It's based on 500.
And that weekly joint about to go crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, just imagine that you hit that, a couple times. You hit that 4 times out of 14 weeks or some extra $200 on top of whatever.
Shit, motherfucker. Shit, if you're that hot team, bro, that could be like, you know what I mean?
Marco said loser can't smoke for the entire offseason. That we're never gonna have a punishment.
What kind of future you live in? You live in a bleak future.
I do not want to live in that future.
Marco, don't tell me it not to be true. I'm about to smoke right now because you got me stressed.
Punishments for weed would be the opposite. It's like, your punishment would be taking a 1 gram dab to the face or like, like some shit like that. Or like, it's a punishment where you have to smoke more and not smoke less.
It'd be like, punishment would be like, you have to roll everything all the time. Roll the shit.
You're the all-time. You're the
all-time. I don't want to roll no more. You want to smoke? Shut up and roll, loser.
We need more. We need more rolled.
I remember one of the years we did the punishment. No, the first year, motherfuckers had to address. You had to address somebody as what they told you to at the party. Yeah. So like everybody had fucked up shit. Like mine was like okay, yeah, and because they were serving drinks too. They had to serve drinks to everybody. Yeah. The first year I lost, I had to do that.
And didn't you say 1 year, like someone
the first year
had to do stand-up comedy or something?
Oh yeah. That's when we got extreme. Yeah, we started getting extreme with it. So 1 year.
And there was was it like one of the 3-minute like open mic things?
Yeah, because we had the homie that worked at the Improv, so it wasn't nothing to get him on the list and shit. You know what I mean? On the fucking thing. So
that's just
this motherfucker lost, and he had to go do a stand-up bit. He tried to write some shit, and he thought he was tight. And then and we just threw tomatoes at him. Booed his ass and threw tomatoes at him. And everybody laughed and booed him too. That shit was fucking tight.
That shit's funny.
Yeah. And it's funny because he's, you know what I'm saying, he's kind of a bigger dude. You know what I mean? And like he wouldn't let nobody post that shit. He would whoop everybody up. But we posted it. Somebody did. I know somebody did. You know what I'm saying?
And Mark said, would you be afraid of losing Bogey? Maybe a test time, taking the punishment. I don't think either one of us. I mean, anything.
Listen, bro. If it was about winning and winning it all, I'd be a sober motherfucker for that off season, bro.
Out of all these leagues that I played in, I came in last in one of them, and it was towards the end. It was me selling off players and like shit like that in the dynasty. So it was me like tanking for the 1-on-1. You know, outside of that, like man, there is it's a very, very low percentage that I would actually be last. Like very, very low.
You know what? When it comes to being last, right? I've been last a handful of times, and I hate it because like back then I didn't really care about the Yahoo shit. I was talking to Steamboat last night, and so because he called me back because I was getting on him. I'm like, bro, you getting old on me or something, bro? You didn't want to join the dynasty? He's talking about, I gotta wait till August, and this is like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? And then we were laughing, but he was like, and then I was talking about how like, hey bro, like I'm not doing any of the Yahoo leagues anymore except for yours. And then it dawned on me, I was like, oh shit, if I'm only doing the one Yahoo league, I'm gonna go diamond again. I'll be diamond again one day. Soon. Just the one league.
Yeah, Yahoo,
I just gotta win that league.
Yahoo needs to fix their rating system or whatever the fuck
it's only based on wins and losses. That's it. It's not like is it based on like see, I bet you if Sleeper did some shit like that because they have like best manager.
Well, if you lose a playoff game, I'm pretty sure that tanks you. You know, like I think the bigger games that you lose or win, they propel you a little bit more than regular season ones. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We might have to move those vampire leagues like back to Yahoo. I've messaged Sleeper. Maybe we need to like keep calling them out. Like we need to be able to like have like 11 teams not be able to make moves, but like one person can. Like
it's literally got to be a vampire setting that they put in there. Because they already have a guillotine setting, right? Oh, no, they don't. That's right. It's all hood shit.
Yeah, all manual the way that we do it. Which we're probably going to have 2 guillotine leagues this year. I'm excited. Would you do both of them if we have both, or would you only do one?
I mean, does a camel spit? You don't say what the fuck. I'm not doing any of the snatcher chains and stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. Please don't peer pressure me. Be a good friend.
Those ones were
just because it's like I don't want to. You know what it is like? It's just like I don't know, bro. I'm not doing that.
Those ones are fun. They're not for the faint at heart though. That is for sure. Like man, you can lose your shit real quick over there. And Kid said it's easier to get diamonds with more teams, not less. Well, I guess it's a yes and no. You got to win because if you're like, I don't even know if you're winning like 60 to like 70% of your games, that's like barely like bumping you up. It's like you got to be winning 100% of your games to like really get a bump
up. I'm just sour, but also too because this $500 league makes me not, or $600 league makes me not. It nukes like all these other like random redrafts and all the other. The money I would have spent on all that shit is not anymore. And it's kind of cool because ironically, it relieves all this extra. It gives me more time actually on the Tuesdays because those extra redrafts are annoying on that Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like just having to do the waivers and not wanting to slip, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think it took 1 year of me fucking up a little bit, and it was really just one fuck up in one league, but it was a bad one. And just from not being on it and making the the Tuesday shit. So now it's just baked into my schedule.
Like last year I was in 33 leagues that I had to do stuff in. This year I'll probably be in like maybe 25, I think. So I'm not cutting out too many, but it's really all the home leagues. You know what I mean? Like last year I did what? I'm not counting the guillotines and the I'm not counting those in that 33. I was 33 as in like shit I had, you know what I mean? Traditional, whether it was dynasty or redraft. Like I'm in 14 of the Hustler dynasties now. Love my teams too. I was going through my shit last night, like okay, because it's fun. It's a fun time of year now. Like all right, let's make some trades. I probably made like a dozen trades right in the last like 5-6 days.
Yeah.
Go crazy
And
right
last
now.
year I was in, let me see, I think it was 65 total, but 21 of those were best balls. So it was like 44,
Yeah.
44 non-best balls.
Yeah, I'm not counting the best balls in none of those ones.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah, Marco said, how the fuck do you manage 32 leagues? The dynasties aren't super hard because
Shout out to Chaotic. She was killing all of us, bro.
Yeah. She said she did like 75 leagues or some shit like that. Maybe the maybe the tall tale has rise, but it was something like that.
Yeah, she was in like 70 something for real. 60 something like that.
And the one thing that I'll say is because I've never like made these crazy jump up. This is like literally a progressive like every year since like 2017 of just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And like even this year, like all the best balls, like we're gonna do way more best balls than ever before, but there's no management like in that. So like yeah, I'll do like a shitload of those. I'll be in all 100 if we have those,
2017, I was in 2017, I was in 7 leagues. I got into 3 chips and I won 2 out of the 3. Right?
Yeah, you were even more than me back in
but then look at this. Then the next year, I was only in 5, and then in the next year I was only in 4, and that stayed the same because these are all 4 leagues that I commissioned, right?
Okay.
And this stayed the same until 2020. Then I jumped to 13 leagues because now I was in all these like analyst leagues. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I had a terrible year, but in my keeper league, I went to the chip, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That was the only chip I lost it. I lost it though. That was during the I lost 3 years in a row in that league. Now that was a $500 league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I was advocating for us to do one. I was like, we need one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need one. And now we got one. The Green Bowl.
Hell yeah.
Okay, but look.
In 2017, I think I was in 5. And then in 18, I think it was 6. And then I think 19, I bumped it to 8. And then it went up to like 16 or 20, something like that. And then 30 something, and then 40 something the next year after.
Yeah, because 2021, I was already in like dub. You know what I mean? I know I was in more than 20, and then it was just a right. We were just never looking back. I was in 25 leagues that year. That's right. And I got into 14. That's right. 25 chips. 25 leagues, 14 playoff appearances. And then I had 5 Super Bowls, and I took all 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I won a playoff league that year, too. So that was a good year. That was 21. Last year, what was my ratio? Last year, I was in 33. I think I had about 17 or 18 playoff teams. I know every single one of my dynasties I went to the playoffs, right? So that was like a big chunk of it.
Yeah. I had 2 out of 16 that I did.
I got into 6 chips. I won 5 out of the 6. And this what was it? The 6th one was because of the goddamn. Oh no, I got into 7 chips. That's right, because I lost 2 of them. I lost 1 fair and square to fucking Yushini.
This is funny. Marco said final goal is 69 leagues.
69, kids!
I'll settle at 55.
55!
Yeah,
right,
but every year it's been more than the previous, and I was with the playoff leagues that got me the extra one this year than the year before.
Yeah,
would have had 2 more. May have lost one as well if the game had played out because Antonio was right in range to beat me in the number 1. But I was like within a point of winning in 1, and I had like T. Higgins, and that sucks. But it is what it is. I still won at least 1 more than the year prior.
I forgot. I was in 8 chips last year. I forgot the other one I lost to Steamboat's brother in that stupid Yahoo league. But that put him 3 years in a row, technically.
Yeah.
He won the first 2 straight, like as a GOAT.
Yeah.
But then now it's fucking that one hurts. And I was down 13 points as it stood. And this is already after the game started, right? Because I was down like 20-something. But that first drive, like I had Burrow, I had fucking Higgins, I had fucking I had Burrow, Higgins, Logan Wilson, fucking who else? Man, I had the goddamn kicker, McPherson.
Yeah.
Fucking
yeah.
I had Gabe Davis. Like it was just a wrap for him. I think he had like who is it? I think he had like Russo or something. You know what I mean? So you never know.
And what do you think? Are we should we continue with that D-Generation X League with the single QB? What was it?
If they're down to draft it at the thing, I'd rather do like, you know what I mean? If they're down to draft it in the Vegas thing, because like I mean, or if the people want it, you know what I mean? I mean, it's 14 team single QB, it's a different kind of beast. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I'd probably rather not. I mean, it's like you know what I mean? Like I said, like you know what I mean?
That one was $69 buy-in.
Yeah, that's right.
9 dudes.
I'm the reigning champ, so I'm okay with ending it on me being the champion forever in that one, and never doing a single QB league again.
I mean, because we could get that one going on the thing. Oh, I think the baby's waking up. But yeah, we're about to cut it.
Yeah.
Oh, she's still laying down. That's funny. She got up. She's holding the remote. Kids, man. She's 2 years old. Wakes up to grab the remote.
Oh man, but yeah, we're gonna have to figure out which ones we are gonna draft down there, because we may have some where people are, where maybe there's one person who's not in certain leagues, but they're not live, but in a league or two that we're drafting for.
I mean, think about it. We can get 14 savages that are gonna already be there. Be like, hey, we're drafting a single QB. Who's in? That'd be kind of dope too. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers put their money up right there. Like old school, huh?
Yeah. Because I do want to draft like a 3 QB league like there, and see, that'd be another reason to get
there. I'm there. There it is. I can't do those other ones. I'm doing that one.
Yeah, and tell Steamboat.
I've never been in that guy.
I know he creates those fish leagues, but like the people who've been doing these, I mean, some have been doing them now for the last couple years, with us. So it's
And are these on Yahoo or Sleeper? Right?
Yeah. Everything's on Sleeper except for potentially the Vampire. That's the only one.
Morning, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's funny. Marco said there's a Thai massage parlor here. They charge €69 for 90 minutes.
9 dudes.
He stops right at 69 minutes. Like that will be enough.
I mean, it's funny. There's a lot of things that that cost $69.
I've been going down the rabbit hole because I found this channel on YouTube. It's like all different Asian gangs lore, and bro, Asian mafia and the triads and all this shit. That shit is crazy, bro. Like that shit goes crazy. And I mean, every shit. Because you just said Thai. I'm like, I bet you if I go down that there's a Thai rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Because it's always about like what are the rackets for gangs? Prostitution, drugs. You know what I mean? Extortion. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All right, let's get the hell up out of here. We'll see you back here for FNT in a couple hours. And then we got the box break a little bit later. So don't forget to let me know what team you want. We'll see you guys then. Peace out.
Peace.
Defense, on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Here comes the